Hello, I'm Kraig Strom. I'm known as the Income Engineer. And recently I was having a conversation with a friend of mine who happens to be a member of a Vistage CEO peer group. This is a group, if you've never heard of Vistage, amazing organization. Vistage member companies are generally valued at significantly more, 20 to 30% more at time of sale, for example, than non-Vistage companies. So Vistage is an awesome organization. My firm here at my law firm and my financial firm, we do a ton of work with Vistage member companies. And I was recently having this conversation about employee retention. Being able to keep people on staff in this extremely competitive job market. And one of the suggestions that had come up in a recent Vistage meeting for my friend was offering things that are outside the box, offering services and access to things for the team inside a company that goes beyond the typical 401k, for example, or even health insurance. And one of the areas that was really interesting to my friend was offering the team, the employees in the company, access to a top-level law firm and financial advisory contact. And that's what she was wondering, whether I would come to her firm and deliver a good, solid financial planning and estate planning information to her team. And of course I said yes. In fact, I've actually delivered this same type of message and service to a number of companies over the years, and it's always really well received. So today I want to give you a taste of the opening conversation. And if you'd like to know more about inviting a financial planner, inviting a paralegal from a law firm in to share this kind of information with your team, please feel free, let me know. You can email me. You'll see all my contact information as we go. But let's jump into this. The title of my talk is Building and Protecting Your Financial Castle. And I love the castle analogy, so we'll take on that in just a moment. The usual disclosure that's required for a certified financial planner, investment advisor. And if you actually do want to get on my mailing list for our company, you could definitely text me, max income 345-345. Now, myself personally, I'm a crazy car guy. I'm married to a wonderfully patient wife, Amy. I've got a 21 to almost 22-year-old daughter. Yes, that is me on the deck of an aircraft carrier with a bunch of friends. I do like a good In-N-Out burger now and then. And I build fine furniture and woodworking. All right. Now, what I want to talk about, though, I want to talk about this idea of challenging conventional wisdom. This is how I always start, because conventional wisdom, that idea of this is the way it's supposed to be done, I want to encourage you right now to challenge that. Not necessarily that all conventional wisdom is wrong, but seriously, when you ask, who said that? Who said that's the way it's supposed to be done? It's so important to think about this one little cartoon, right? You got all the cows standing in line, and you got one cow trying to cut in line, and the other guy saying, hey, no cutting in. And they have no idea what line they're standing in. Maybe they're standing in a meat packing line. Who knows, right? Hey, no cutting in. Who said that's the way it's supposed to be done? Well, I will submit to you that I believe that the Wall Street marketing machine is the architects of conventional wisdom, because Wall Street is going to promote those things that are good for Wall Street. That's okay, because Wall Street is a profit center, so they very rarely put out anything that is not good for Wall Street. That's it, right? So if Wall Street creates the conventional wisdom and Wall Street's message is always going to be focused on what's best for Wall Street, you might want to challenge conventional wisdom. You might want to step back and say, well, wait a minute. Maybe I should look at the underlying meanings and everything behind what's being done, right? What's being proposed. So one of the key areas that I look at is, using the castle analogy, is that Wall Street would like you to believe that the answer to retirement, the answer to everything is to invest more money, always invest more money. If you lose your dog, it's because you didn't invest enough money. If you had a flat tire, you didn't invest enough money, right? You've got to invest all the time. Now, I challenge that if you think of the castles of old, you go back to that medieval times, right, and you're going to build a castle, the very first thing, number one thing you've got to think about is, how are you going to protect that castle. You've got to build a moat, a secure location. You've got to make sure that no one and nothing can come in and take your stuff. So I suggest to you that if you're in the midst of a financial planning conversation and the person that you're talking to, he or she, does not start with protection first, you're not building your castle right. Because the next step is then to build a strong foundation. Liquidity, savings, cash availability for opportunities and emergencies, and then we grow. Then you get into the growth mode and you're now able to build a huge castle, big wealth, and everything's protected. Because when you think about it, there's so many different directions that you've got risk coming from. You've got to defend the castle, and you can only do that if you have fortified defenses. Okay? Now, an audit usually elicits this cringe. I don't want to have an audit. Well, I'm going to suggest to you that you've got to have a 360-degree protection audit. To have a protection audit to safeguard your assets and your income. This is the kind of thing that I look at when I do an asset protection audit. A review to see just how well defended your castle is. Should include all of these things. Checking your liability insurances, making sure that your home and auto insurance is done right. Oh my gosh, that's one of the biggest mistakes I see all the time. I mentioned I'm a crazy car guy. I met someone recently, had nearly $1 million worth of cars or value in just 2 cars, and he had it in his living trust. He had those cars titled in his living trust. Unbelievable. By the way, that is extremely risky and totally wrong. Right? Car insurance will not save you in that regards. Life insurance, oh, that's a big one. So many people are underinsured. Disability insurance, very few people have their actual paycheck insured, right? Planning for marital assets, planning for business entities. There's a big one. Business entities almost never done as well as they could be to be bulletproof. Now, legal attacks will come from and can come from the ones and the people you least expect. Think about this. Think about this for a second. All the risks that you face, nobody ever really considers their house guests to be a risk. But if you invite people over for birthday parties, pool parties, you've got people who come and mow your lawn, you've got people who actually come in and do housework for you, renovations and things like that. All of those people are potential risks to your family's castle. You've got to make sure that you're protected. Everything from medical judgments to auto accidents, personal liabilities to business owners would include even things like offering a 401k, for crying out loud, nowadays can actually create a liability to the owner, right? And most owners don't know that. So when you look at this, a 360-degree protection audit is exactly that. Looking at the entirety of the protection around your family castle, your business and your personal castle, right? Making sure that it is completely bulletproof or, arrow-proof, spear-proof, invasion-proof, whatever you want to call it. A 360-degree audit is critically important. Now, the rest of this talk goes into even more detail on various other aspects of Financial Preparedness 101, and I will get to that in a subsequent video, but today just wanted to give you a taste. I was all excited about the talk I'm going to deliver here soon. I've done this before, but I love this kind of stuff. So if you ever want to actually look into more detail and maybe offer this kind of talk to your team members, the employees at your firm, to help enhance your stickiness when it comes to employee retention, I'm happy to help. Talk to you later. I forgot to put my closing screen up, so I'll say goodbye this time.